Now we're going to grab our other tower piece and we are going to add in our mirror pieces. So I used a silver color. You really can use any color mirror piece as I mentioned before. And I'm just gluing these down. If you used adhesive vinyl, you can always just stick it on like a sticker. And I'm gluing the pieces on so that they're not covering up any of those holes. Now we can grab the tower piece that we just made and attach this on. Make sure that the large rectangular holes are towards the bottom and the reflective mirror pieces are towards the top of the windows. This is going to give the reflection off of your tea light and onto your shadows. Make sure that you're lining up at the bottom of the house rather than at the top of the house, in my opinion. That way your bottom is nice and flat all over your haunted house. Take your time with lining everything up and making sure that your glue is nice and secure. Now we're just going to turn our tower over and secure the other side as well. Once you have everything secured on, you have created the first part of your haunted house and you have your main tower. So now we're going to build upon it. Let's start with the roof of this tower. There are 6 of these brown panel pieces that I have in front of us. We're going to organize them. Please follow the way that I have it listed. So we're going to start with this one piece, and then we're going to fold on all of the score lines as necessary. The flaps are going to go at the top and fold down towards you. After that first piece, you're going to want 2 pieces that are the same with the 2 flaps folded down. And you want to have them in this order so that we put them in properly. Then we have another piece with no flaps and no little piece hanging off the top. And then the other ones have tabs. And this is the order that they should be in for when we assemble it onto our roof. So grabbing piece 1, this one's going to slide right into the little slits on the side in the middle. So you're going to want to start with this piece and it's going to look like that at the end. Grabbing your next piece, which will be the next one down below it, we are going to want to put this on both sides with your tabs facing out. So I want to make sure that that is clear that you're facing those 2 tabs out towards you. This is so that we can make triangles in the corner of the roof. The next step was probably the trickiest. So we're going to grab that middle piece again, the one that doesn't have the little tower in the middle. That's the only way I can describe it. And you're going to want to take all those slits and line them up. So there's 5 slits, and honestly, you can see me struggling here to try to get all the slits lined up. But you want to make sure that they're all lining up and sliding down all the way. This is going to make sure that your roof is nice and secure and also so that everything fits over it beautifully. So once you have it slid on all the way, you'll see it lines up evenly at the top. Then we're going to put in our last 2 tabs. I originally did this backwards per me testing everything out. So you want to make sure that those tabs are facing inwards towards the other triangles. Luckily, it's just a score line, so it's as easy as just folding it the other way, which is what I ended up doing. So you're sliding in these last slits, and then we are going to glue them down afterwards. But you want to make sure that the tabs are facing the ones that we just did. So as you can see, I'm just going to flip them around. It's as easy as just folding it backwards. So at the end of the day, don't worry if you did put it in backwards, you can always just change it around. So the first 3 panels are all going to go the same way, and then the last 3 panels are all going to go the opposite way. And they interlock into each other to make this roof form at the top. Super cute. So now we're going to glue down all of those tabs together. So as you can see, there are tabs in the top corners, and I'm just going to go around on the inside and glue those all in so that they make almost like a pyramid in the top of the roof. Now we're going back to our black shadow pieces, and I'm going to grab the 2 crows, and those are going to be glued on right onto that top little tower piece that was sticking out. So that's going to be where you're gluing it on. Don't worry about the slits. It's actually glued down completely. That way that the roof doesn't come off. So we're just gluing it on both sides. Make sure your crows are both facing the same way so that when you glue them together, you don't have one facing one way and one facing the other. Now let's grab our side panels. The first thing I'm going to do is attach these two pieces. So on that score line, I'm going to take a little bit of glue and I'm going to glue these two together. Remember, I am lining everything up via the bottom of the house. So I'm making sure that it's nice and secure and also lined up at the bottom. Now I'm going to take my mirror pieces and line those up and attach them with some craft glue. And again, if you're using adhesive vinyl, you can always just pull off the adhesive backing and attach those in as well. And I'm using a pretty liberal amount of glue here to attach these down. Now I'm going to grab my tower. You can build both sides of the mansion just like I just did with the mirror pieces and the two remaining house pieces, but I went ahead and attached this first and then went ahead and built my other side. So you're going to want to pull out your tabs from your tower so that they are out towards you. And now we're going to place this over the hole and take those tabs and attach them down. I started with the side on the right and tried to attach the panel, but it kept slipping out. So the best way that I found is to attach the bottom panel first. So as you can see here, I'm kind of struggling to get it to adhere. So I went with the bottom panel. It also helps because then I'm aligning the bottoms up really nicely. So I'm just going to take that little tab, add some glue, and I'm going to make sure that it's nice and secure. You also want to make sure that the backs are lining up, but really make sure that bottom piece is nice and aligned. And then wait for this to actually sit and dry before you move on to your next piece. As you can see, my tab's not moving anywhere. Then it was easy for me to go around and attach all of the side pieces. Now we can go ahead and grab the other side of this side piece of the house and attach them together. So remember to line up at the bottom and wait for this to dry. And now you have one side of your house done. Now we're going to grab these two roof banisters. So it doesn't matter which way, but you're going to fold them like a fan so that you can glue together the center to make a triangle. Only glue together the center and not the flaps on the end. So you want to make sure that it is secured in the middle. And so you have two pieces that fan out like a triangle. And then you have your two pieces at the end that we're going to attach to the side of the house that we just put on. I'm folding out these side panel pieces and we're going to put glue over the entire thing. And then what we're going to do is attach it onto the side and fold the two side pieces over so that this is attached like a banister. So just like this, we're going to glue it all down. Don't worry about these pieces being out in the front because we're going to cover those up with the fascia pieces that you can see on the right. Once your glue is dry, you're going to do the same thing to the other side where I put a full amount of glue onto the front of that panel and I'm going to glue it to the very top and then secure it around. This is going to give you a nice solid banister so when we attach the roof, it looks really secure. Before I start attaching all of my roof panels, I went ahead and did the exact same assembly for the other side of the house. So I'm going to attach the two panels together. Then I'm going to add in my mirror pieces on the inside and then attach it to the side of our haunted house just like we did before. Remember to start with that bottom piece and make sure it's nice and adhered. Also remember to line up everything at the bottom. I found that it was harder to put on the second side, probably because of the weight of the first side that we did of the haunted house. So just give yourself some patience here and really take your time to attach everything. My last step for my left side is going to be attaching that banister. So again, you're going to want to do an accordion fold. So as you can see, I'm folding on my score lines, down, then up, then down again. And then I'm going to attach those middle pieces without getting glue on my ends. And then we're going to fold out our ends and then attach those banisters to our new side. Now we're going to grab those 4 fascia pieces that go on the side. They are all the same size, so we're just going to glue those right onto the top, and that's going to cover up those pieces that we just put. So again, you didn't have to worry about if they're hung over because they're going to be covered up on the side. This is the easiest part, I feel, is just adding these on, and it adds such a cute touch to the house. If you're this far along, your house should look something like this. Great job. Now let's grab the rest of our roofing pieces and you're going to flip over the bigger pieces. I know that sounds a little strange, but that's where we're going to start. Don't worry about all of the trapezoid pieces. That's going to be for the top roof piece that goes around the tower. Right now we're going to work on the panels for the two side pieces we just did. So you're going to flip them over and now we're going to attach these extra pieces that we see towards the bottom of my screen. Those are going to go on the back of your roof towards the bottom. So we're just gluing them on to those pieces. So now you'll grab the longer piece and you're going to glue it on to the front of one of the sides. The pieces that have the tabs towards the bottom are going to go on the inner side of your haunted house. And you're going to want to make sure you use the proper tab on each side. So where it's a little bit longer, you're going to want to put that on the side of the tower. And I'm just putting glue on to our banister that we made and then attaching that roof on top. You're going to want to line those two pieces up as good as possible. Don't worry about the seam down the middle. We are going to put on another panel right over that so that it's nice and covered. I'm folding down the middle of the scalloped piece, and I actually went with the side that wasn't textured, and I put that side facing up. So the textured side that we printed is going to go down, and the scallop side that's plain will be up on top, and so it gives a nice difference to the texture, so you can really see that piece. And I just glued that right on top, and now we're going to do the same to the other side by gluing down all three of our roof panels. Now let's build the middle tower roof. So you're going to grab these 4 trapezoid pieces and fold on all of the score lines. And then we're going to attach these together. So 2 have score lines, 2 do not. And you're going to want to put the ones that have the score lines, so they're going to be opposite. So you're going to go score line, no score line, score line, no score line. And you're going to make this into almost like a semicircle. You're going to want your bat piece as well as your 4 spokes that will go on the very top. And you're also going to need your 2 circle parchment papers or vellum papers that you had. So I'm adding my vellum onto these. And again, you can use a liberal amount of glue. I got a little glue on the front, but don't worry, it wiped right off. And then we are going to glue down our bat. So your bat, again, has that little piece that we're just going to glue on the edge. I'm not gluing on the actual bat. And then I'm going to put that right on the edge of the window so that when you look on the other side, you see a little bat peeking through. Don't forget to attach your little window panes here that we had. Those are the circles, and I'm just using glue on the edge and attaching it around the outside of the window. They're kind of similar in color, so they're a little hard to see, but I definitely still wanted to add on the panels. Now we're going to attach all of our pieces together. So I'm just gluing right on that score line. And again, you're going to go score line, no score line, score line, no score line. Don't worry about the position of the bats and the panel. It doesn't matter because once it's all together, the bat will be seen from one side or another. So I have these 4 done. I'm going to flip them over and then I'm going to attach my spokes to the very top. So I'm going through with a line of glue at the top, and now I'm just going to attach these 4 spokes all the way around. And then once your spokes are attached, you can glue your last side down and attach the 2 ends together to create your roof piece. From what I have found, you just pop this right on top. You can secure it down with some hot glue if you'd like, but it also just sits on there really nicely. Now let's move on to our floor piece. So I am going to fold this towards me so that the 2 circles line up. And now I'm going to attach these heftier white pieces to the bottom. These were optional to cut out. It's just to make it a little heavier and a little more secure towards the bottom. So you can skip this part if you did not cut out these extra panels. If you did, I am literally just gluing them together to make sure that you can still see the hole through it. The holes at the bottom are for your tea lights so that you can place them inside. Next, I'm going to grab my magnet strip again, and you're going to need 7 pieces this time. Cut them relatively the same size as you did before, and we're going to attach these to the floor piece now. So you're going to need 5 for the floor, and again, mine are adhesive, so I'm just pulling off that adhesive backing, which is clearly giving me some difficulty, and then I'm going to secure them down to where you can see those little scored rectangles. Again, these don't have to be perfect. They're like a little less than a half an inch by a half an inch, I would say, maybe even a little smaller. And it's just so that we can secure the house to the base. You can also just hot glue where you find these if you are just going to keep this and not fold it down at any point. You will use 5 of the magnetic strips on the bottom, so I'm just going to adhere this last one. And then the last 2 that we have left over are actually going to go back onto the house. So I'm going to grab the haunted house again, and there are 2 little flaps on the side, and we're going to attach our magnetic strips onto those. You want to do it at the bottom of the flap so that it lies flat against the other magnetic strips. There are 2 of these flaps that you're going to add these to. Now I'm going to turn my house over, and you see the 2 slits where you have the 3 holes and then 2 slits in the middle. So what I'm going to do here is take the 2 folds that are at the bottom and slide those in to those slits. This is a little bit difficult. I don't have my final roof piece on just yet, and I'm just sliding these in, and then I'm going to secure them down with glue. This is attaching our base to our house. Now I'm just going to slide my roof piece over onto that tower. Again, I didn't secure mine down with any hot glue, but you definitely can here on the corners if you want it to be secured on. And now you have completed your haunted house. How fun is this project? It turned out so cute, and I love how 3D it is. You can always add your tea lights into the bottom and give it some illumination. Thank you for watching. Happy crafting.